Hello, everybody. It's me, jusskyia. Thanks for tuning in. This is the finale of season 1. So this is episode 7, and we're going to continue on from episode 6. I'm just going to, excuse me, go into it. We ain't gonna waste no time because we gotta get on to season 2. So please subscribe. Please leave comments. Please listen to the video all the way through because it gets better as it go along. And then you get the whole story and you get the whole complete creativity in knowledge that I'm trying to share. So you have to listen to the whole video. I know I'm a little long-winded. It's going to get better for season 2 and then season 3 and then wherever the Lord leads us. I promise you on the journey, it will continue to get better. In the name of Jesus. Okay. So we're just going to pick it up. So I'm on 56 in Avalon, living there. And at this time, I have a boyfriend who's kind of staying over. My mom has her new dude, kind of, sort of. And I think my age frame was a little off in episode 6, but so at this point, for sure, I'm 18. It's the summer of me being 18. It's the summer of me, I'm 19, and I'm quickly about to turn 20. Okay, so, to continue, go back just a little bit to make the story, not the story, the event of what happened, because I think sometimes when you say stories, is it true or not? This is totally nonfiction. It's me, just me, JUSS. You guys know it, KYIA. Okay, so I'm home, and I get approached for the first time from a gentleman in my mother's life. And I express my experience of what happened, of him coming to my room and kind of, he didn't cross any lines per se, but just made comments of my mouth and kind of giving me, I feel, inappropriate compliments, being my mother's man. And I've never been in a situation like this. So, anywho, I told you guys about the weed, the marijuana, and, that exchange happening. So, at this point, I want to say it couldn't have been more than a day or two. It couldn't have been. And then and like I was telling you guys, I can hear my mom and her dude going back and forth, whatever's happening, but it ain't none of my business. I don't know what they're saying. But then the next thing I notice, my mother comes to my room and she started talking about my boyfriend, trying to figure it out, the experience of life. And she proceeded to chastise me. And here I am. We're kind of living as roommates, quite truthfully. But she wants to degrade me or whatever. But she was being my mom. That's how my mom is. And I'm still her daughter. So with me saying all of that, when she kind of called me out with my boyfriend saying he's only here to use me for what he can get. And I tell you, I was at that time, 18. You guys got to stick around because that same dude, he comes up again. I promise you, he comes up again like, right now in my life. And I went on and, okay, so you guys just got to stay tuned to see how he shows up again. So this is him. Okay, so in the midst of her saying these things to me about him and and I was disrespectful how I expressed in episode 6. I do not condone ever talking to your parent like that, no matter what. We deserve to be honored, no matter what. And especially as a child, even to this day. Excuse me, my mother was still alive. Yeah, you know. Okay, so anyway, okay, let's move on. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so she tells me, okay, this is, I gotta get into character, right? Because that's the only way I can tell the story. I tell it. Okay, one take, right? Okay, so my mother walks to my room and she says about my boyfriend, you know what I said? And I said, that may be true, but that's why your man want to sleep with me. I said it differently, and I'm using very G-rated language at this time, even with her coming to me. So she goes, "What? Huh? Like, hmm?" And then bam, she goes out the room. She just leaves out the room, and I'm sitting there. My heart is pumping, and so quickly, I don't know how long, but it wasn't long. She come back and here's old boy following her right behind her. And then so now I see him and I stand up, because I don't know, it was kind of like in, instinctly instinctly for me to do that because I've never been in this situation before. I've never so I stood up to have even playing ground. And so it was me, my bedroom, the door, my mother, and old dude, her dude's right behind her. And she said, okay, okay. This is what she did. I heard what you said. And so what happened? And I told her, in details, and I haven't told you guys all the details, but in the book, or if you two blow up, we can keep this going. We can go like a round 2 after everything and come back around. I'll give you even more details. But please look out for my book. Okay, so anywho, for more details, because it is the details that I want to really express, and that's why in book form is really good, because you just in the words and the description you see Christ even in intertwining in that, but okay, anyway, so she said, so what happened, so I told her basically and what happened. I promise you, this is what my mother said to me, my mom. She said, okay. So anyway, you're 19, about to be 20. And I told you, I'm only responsible for you until you turn 18. And so I'm like, I ain't said nothing. Since I said what I said. And so it's time for you to go. That's what she told me. Those was her words. Amen. Amen. So me being me, and to this day, it was like, amen. I was like, okay. And I got my things. I had that little Hyundai still. Wait, no, I didn't. Okay, I forgot to tell you, the Hyundai got repossessed because I shouldn't have had the thing in the first place. But I did have a job. I was working with Dario. Hi. I learned I could say some names, okay, and not last, whatever. I think I said last time too. But anyway, and so I was working, but okay, so the Hyundai got repossessed. Like right before, not too long before that or something, whatever. So I had okay, then one more thing. So at this point, like I said, I had old boy as a boyfriend, but what my mom said was true because he would only be around me when he wanted some cookies. So it was true. So I couldn't be mad at her. But so at this time, I did notice like, he don't take me out on dates and stuff. So I had other friends. I had two other friends, so that's a total of three guys I'm seeing at this time. And I'll go into details about that later because that's an interesting story because all three of them are totally different personalities. And it's a trip, and I learned from each one of them. And at that moment, that's what I needed. So, anyway, I called one of the three, not the one, oh boy, just for what he want from me. But I called one of them. He was the very responsible one. He was a manager of El Pollo Loco. Yes, he was a man. I mean, he was like manager, like how you say he had like 2, 3 stores. He was, and he had his iRock Z28. Y'all remember that, right? He had his iRock. He would, after my car got repossessed, he would come get me. And, he was trying to, I guess, looking back, really trying to show me, like, let's, do this or whatever. But the bad thing was, he was my only friend's ex, and they had a baby together. Yes, they did. And that's how me and him knew each other. It didn't work out with them, but I just couldn't go forward with that. But I was like, God, he's such a good guy. And I would, I wanted to, but I couldn't, but I did, but I didn't. You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. So it was him. So I called him and, okay. So I called him and he came and got me. And I packed up my little clothes. I didn't have much. Packed up my little clothes and some grocery bags. And he said, where are we going? So at this time, I don't know how I got in contact with my mother's friend. So this is the friend. This is another friend. Remember, Inez. I can say her name. She's passed away as well. So Inez is the friend remember when we was going to the hole in the wall, and it was my mom, her best friend, and the heavier lady. That's Inez. And then Inez's daughter was one of the three. It was three of us girls. Okay, so I don't know if I called her before I left or how that worked out, but I end up calling her and, asked her if I can come stay there. She said yes. So I went there and I had my little bags of clothes. And this is, I wish I could think of the street. It's Butlong. It's Butlong and, wow, it won't come to me. It will, but it's Butlong. And, okay. So anyway, so I go over there and I just have my bag of clothes. So you go, and this was her house. Actually, she owned the house. She buying, whatever. She wasn't renting. This was her house. And so in the back room, it was her daughter, and there was like 3, 4 beds in there, just kind of, here, and whatever. And so I just occupied a bed, and I made it very clear to her that I just need shelter. I promise you I won't be eating your food. I'm going to still take it. I don't know how, but I'm still going, and I assured her of that, and I kept that word. And so I'm there. Okay, so I told you the one guy who's the El Pollo Loco manager, he helped me move my things there with the IRA. So my other friend was Greg. And believe it or not, I think in episode, I didn't share that part because it would have made the video even longer. So anyway, when I lived on 35th in Vermont, across the street, there was some apartments there, and we was across the street from Exposition Park. Met a guy there. He was a little bit older, but wow, he was the most beautiful. He was, you know how you say, I got some Indian in me? He was Indian. He was like black, beautiful. Oh, he was just so chocolate. And he had that hair like, I guess like Snoop, but way thicker. And you could tell he was Indian, and he had the cheekbones, but he not skinny like Snoop, but he kind of, oh, he was gorgeous. Oh, and I got another story to tell y'all about that with my mama, but that's anyway, just beautiful. But he was older than me. When I first met him, I had to be 16, we were gonna say, and he had to be early 20s, early 20s. Okay, so anyway, so this is him now. Oh, we gotta get that later. Oh, no, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding though. So I called what he used to do. So now I'm over at Inez's house, and whenever I needed food, whatever I needed, I had my food. I'm never eating her food, never. And then whatever I needed, like as far as my laundry, anything. And me and her, like, she said, okay, you don't have to pay me anything as long as, I was like, okay. So, you know how I want to say it, but I think it's a little, so, can I say it? Okay, so anyway, on this day, so I've been living there, and there's other things that happen in the midst of this, anyway, so I don't know how long I've been there. So Greg, the Indian, woo, he would always, okay, so no, so the last time, when the incident happened to cause me to have to leave there, he came to pick me up. He came to take me to get my laundry done. And he came in the house like he done every week since I've been there, on the same day. I think it was a Thursday or a Friday. He walked in, got my laundry, and he took it to his car. He had one of those nice old cars. I'm not really a car person, but anyway. So as he comes in, it takes my stuff out, and he'd bring me food and all this stuff, and he was leaving out. And I was like, okay, thank you, guys. I'll be back, and whatever I said to Inez. She said, wait a minute. Oh, Lord. She said, wait a minute. I said, yes, huh? She said, I don't like, you got like 2 different guys coming in and out of here. And she said something else, and I go, huh? And she's talking about the other one who brought my clothes over. But technically, once he helped me bring my clothes in, he'd never been in again, but he would come over and pick me up, and I would go drop him off to work, and he would let me keep his car the whole day, and then I'll go back and pick him up. But he never came in and out of her house, but that one time. So she goes, you got these men, it's only 18 minutes, I'm looking at the time. You got these men coming in and out of here, and whatever else she said. I was like, huh? And remember, Greg just walked out. And she's like, yeah, if you're going to be in, and I have never had a man in her house, in the bed, and hell no, for one. And then okay, anywho, but no, and no food, no nothing. And I'm probably 20 now. Actually, I am 20 now. And so, anyway, actually, I got 4 guys. I just thought of season 2, episode 1, because that takes me into my adulthood, into my 20s. So it was 4. Okay, my bad. But anywho. See, this is what I'm telling you. It's like, just me. Jusskyia. Okay, so anyway. So I was like, huh? And she's like, yeah, that's not how this works here. At this point, you need to be giving me some money. I said, for what? She said, because you got these ends coming in, and yeah, I normally do say whatever, but I don't want to, no. But she's like, you got these coming in and out my house, and they taking care of you, so I need some money. I was like, huh? I didn't laugh, but I was so confused. I was so confused. Looking back, we both as grown people could look back now. She was just kind of jealous. Not kind of, she was jealous. Now looking back, that whatever, and she didn't, whatever. Okay, not the point right here, right now. If it's so at that time, I said, okay, I said, I'm not giving you no money. And I said it, and I was not disrespectful, like, you know. And I said, I'm not giving you no money. She said, well, you got to get your stuff and go. I said, okay. So I went and got my, I had just whatever clean clothes I had, because all I had was clothes and shoes. That's it. So I went outside. I said, Greg, come get the rest of my stuff. He was like, why? I said, come get, please, come get my stuff. And so he was like, oh, he obliged. So he came, got my stuff, and we got in the car. I told him, and I was worked up and all that, blah, blah, blah. So we went and got a hotel room that night. So what happened next was that we're going to go 30 minutes, I promise. 30 minutes and I'll be done. So we got 9 more minutes. Okay, so we go get a hotel, and he's like, so what you going to do? And so all I could think of was my grandmother. So I called my grandmother. And I said, Mama, I said, I got to come to your house and stay for a little bit. She said, why? How long? Something like that. I was like, well, I don't have nowhere to go. I really need, to come there and stay. And then she was very hesitant. Like, she wasn't, my scarf keep, like, I thought I put it on tight enough. Okay, there. I'm sorry, no edit. Raw. Just me. Jusskyia. So I said, Mama, I don't have nowhere to go. I just, I need to come stay there. And then so my grandmother's house, the garage was converted into like a room, bedroom, X room, whatever you want to call it. It was used for multiple different things. I said, Mama, I don't even care. I'll just sleep on the floor in that room. I don't know what we called it at the time. So she said, okay. Mind you, my grandmother had a 3-bedroom house, not counting this room I'm talking about on the floor. And it was her by herself. So that's 2 bedrooms with beds in them. No one sleeping in them. So she said, okay, after me begging a little bit. So now Greg takes me over there, and I get my things and I put them right in that room like I told her I would do. So I slept on the floor in that room that evening. And I was fine with it. I ain't gonna complain, and I wasn't bitter, but I was like, wow, I was thinking like, there's 2 beds, but she's not offering them to me, and I didn't ask for them because my deal was I'll just sleep in there. So I slept there the first night, and then you have that ante room back then where you can come in the back door in the laundry room, and that's how my uncle or whoever would enter, because you knew that door was always unlocked, and you could come right in where I was sleeping on the floor. So my uncle walked in, and I'll never forget. I was sleeping on the floor, and he walked in. He said, "What you doing down there?" And I said, "Oh, I had to come stay here. I didn't have nowhere to go." He said, "But why are you on the floor?" I said, "Well, this is what me and Mama agreed upon." So he said, "If you don't get that stuff up right now." I mean, just like that. He said, "Go in that room. Go in the back." And he was talking to me like, kind of like that. I was like, okay, I kept my word. And he went in there and talked to my grandmother. it wasn't like yelling or whatever. They had some words. He had some words with her. I don't know what was said. I don't know none of that. But then he came and said something to me. He said, I don't, he said, it was very kind, something like, I don't know, but it was something like, we're family. You shouldn't be on something. But I'm thinking in my mind, but this ain't my house. If that's it, I've been knowing my grandmother all my life. So I know this, but he was saying something like that. I shouldn't have. He was kind of blaming me, like you shouldn't have never been on the floor. You should have known that you don't have to be on the floor. But he older than me. I know he know my grandmother, his mother. And so I just took it in stride, and I thank him for at least, okay, 5 minutes, and it's about to end, for at least standing up for me then. Okay, so the next day, real quick, my grandmother made it seem like I was never on the floor. She made it seem like everything was cool, and she don't know why I felt I had to be on the floor. And okay, okay, real quick, we got 4 minutes. This is what's going to leave you guys the cruncher or the cliffhanger to come back for season 2. That's the end of season 1, episode 7. Done. I'm there. Okay, so remember at first I was saying 3 guys and I forgot. Actually, it was 4. And then so the 3 guys was old boy who was just there to get some cookie. And then remember old boy who helped me move my bags, my clothes to Inez's house. And he was in the IROC and very responsible. He was managing like 3 or 4 El Pollo Locos and stuff like that. But he was my friend, ex-friend, not friends, person I knew. They had a baby together, so I couldn't, it just didn't seem right. But okay. And then remember Greg, the one where he helped me move my stuff out. The one I forgot. I forgot to mention to you guys, I was arrested one evening. I was 18 and I was arrested. And this is before I got put out my mom's house. And the officer that arrested me, I ended up marrying him. You gotta come back for season 2. The shit gets real now. That was all good, okay, but it gets real. It's grown up time now. Got to put on those big girl panties. So I hope you guys enjoyed season 1. I'm telling you, I really enjoyed making it, recording it, just reminiscing, really. I probably should call it reminiscing real life or something. I'm going to work on all the verbiage season 1 to get it out there, more so, because I really know and believe that we're meant here to where it's meant for us to be here to encourage and learn from each other. So did you see how but I'm trying because, like, I don't know, I'm just so excited, and I just love me, love life, love you. So season 2, we'll go into that chapter. 29 minutes and 5 seconds. Okay, wait. So, almost. Okay, so I got 50 seconds left. Please comment, subscribe, and tell people that you think will be interested in what I'm sharing. Please tell them about the channel, the show, or to subscribe, and let's learn from each other. And if you leave comments, that's how I can learn from you. I'm so ready to interact. Okay. Oh, I still got 20 seconds. Okay, wait, hold up. So I love to interact. So next season, I'm going to come with like each episode, maybe like a topic or a conversation piece where we can discuss in the comments. I think that'll be good. And then that would help us to interact more. But it's still about me, Jusskyia. I'm just kidding. No, it ain't about me. My bad. Okay, I'm 8 seconds over. It's about Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, using me as a vessel to share my knowledge. So when I said it's me, it's not me, it's him. Okay, Jusskyia is because J is for Jesus and us. That's why Jusskyia, Juss. That is the meaning behind that. And then Kyia, of course, is me. So that's why I went with the name Jusskyia. Jesus and us. Until season 2. Okay. Bye. Whoop, whoop. Whoop.